Okay, so with that, obviously, y'all, we're here to talk about MGT Insurance and give you a demo of the platform and show you some really great things. But really, all of that is window dressing to the fact that we're here to interact with you, right? Like we set these up because we love interacting with our agents. We love for you to come and participate in these with us. We're happy to show you the demo. We're really proud of what it is that we built, and we're continuing to iterate on it. We're going to have even cooler versions of it in days to come. But that said, we're really here for y'all. So ask any of the questions that it is that you have. You can put them in the chats. You can put them in the Q&A, and we will try to stump Dan as he goes through and shows the demo. Annalise and I will interrupt him with your amazing questions, and we'll see if we can throw him off his game. I don't know if we can though. One of these days maybe, but I don't know if we can. So that
Bring
being
it
said,
on.
yeah, good man. I'm glad. I like the spirit. My name is Jason. I work here in distribution with these two amazing folks, and we're here to support you day in and day out in any way that we can. So, Annalise, if you want to go next and introduce yourself.
Awesome. Yep. My name's Annalise and I work in customer and broker success. So if you folks have any questions or your policyholders need any assistance with MGT, you can get in contact with me. I've just put the contact information in the chat. You can get in contact with us via phone or email, whatever works best for you. Thanks for joining.
I'm Dan, National Sales Manager here at MGT, working alongside this amazing team to build our distribution channels and help get our product out into the marketplace so we can protect small businesses in your community and beyond. I would say also too, think of me as your MGT fixer. My number 3 goal is for you to have an amazing experience every time you work with MGT. Why is that number 3? It's also goal number 1 and 2. So, that's my focus. If you're ever not sure who to get in touch with, just reach out to me. I'll make sure we get you to the right person. Now, let's go ahead and share the screen, and we'll get this demo fired up for you. So I have got this pulled up to the dashboard. This does exactly what you would expect a dashboard to do. This is where you can get some updates on what we're doing. If we ever roll out new classes, moratoriums, things like that, that'll be right here. We can also start a quote, but before we jump into that, I'll just take a quick detour here. You can also manage quotes that you've previously worked on, and then you can click into the policies tab, and there's a lot of really good self-service features in here as well. So let me open the self-service section. You can see here we have a record of all of the documents and communications sent on this policy. So if someone ever calls you up and says, hey, Jason, I thought we bound this policy 3 days ago. I never got my receipt. Is it active? You can come here, say, hey, they sent you the receipt on the 28th. It was around 2:30 in the afternoon. So if you don't see it in your inbox, check your spam folder. I think we've all done that song and dance once or twice. You'll also get a full policy document jacket here. You can review the application. So these records are also retained on our system as well. And you'll see here you can create the certificate of insurance, download the declarations page. These are available to you the second we bind that policy. So if you've got a landlord or a lender who's waiting on proof of insurance, you can just forward it over to them, move on to the next thing on your to-do list. Also, click back in here. There is one feature we have that really flies under the radar most of the time, but I think this one feature kind of encapsulates the MGT difference. I have a lot of experience in the surplus line side of the industry where when you need to update a mailing address, you have to file a non-premium bearing endorsement request. You hope it gets done in 30 days, but that is a lofty goal in a lot of cases. With MGT, all you have to do is fire this up, enter the new mailing address, click Save Changes. It's saved. Now you can go back about your day and do the rest of the challenging tasks on your to-do list. Also in this page, you can check out payments and update payment information, see payment history. In the claims section, you can file and track claims as well. So really good section there. And then we'll just click the name in the upper right-hand corner. That'll take us back into the dashboard. So to start a quote out, the very first thing that we'll do is select the industry. And this is a great opportunity to do a quick appetite check as well. One thing that I get some requests for from time to time, internet retailers who are maybe reselling or drop shipping. And if you click that here, you'll get a message to let you know this is not eligible for our business owners program. So at least before you've put in a lot of work on that quote, we're just going to tell you it's not a good fit for us. So I'll just put in an accountant's office here, and you can see as well, there's some keyword search built in. And we have this set up so you don't have to memorize every single NAICS code and type in a keyword that's exactly in that code. For example, if you have a doctor's office, type that in, it'll pull up all of our different medical office class codes.
Quick a peek behind the curtain, y'all. It's easy for us to do demos of the same class every single week, just so that we're not getting caught off guard with we get a routine down and things like that. But Dan, I'd love it if you took a second to highlight some of our new classes that we've been doing a really great job with recently.
Excellent. Yes, and thanks for teeing that up. Couple really great ones that we've been getting a ton of interest in. Grocery stores. We could write either a retail grocery store or someone wholesaling to a grocery store as a distributor. Fun fact about that class, we added support for it, I think last Tuesday around 10 a.m. We bound our first one that same day at 2 in the afternoon. So great, that just shows the speed that you're able to achieve with us. I bet there were other agents trying to win that account who are still waiting on an underwriter to look at their records and loss runs.
Speed and appeal. The agent knew same day they wanted to write that with us. I think it's such a great win story.
Another good one, convenience stores, which we can write with or without gasoline sales. And then I think liquor stores, beverage stores have also been relatively popular too, which we can also write those either on a retail or a wholesaling basis.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go back to your vanilla accountant now.
So when you have an accountant, all you have to do is select that class code. And in the next step here, you will just enter in the address. So pick the right address here, and then click go to start the actual quoting process. In this first page, you'll see a Google Street View of that location. You can move this around. I think this is just a good opportunity to validate the risk, make sure we didn't make a typo in the address of it. Double check, sidewalk looks good. No issues in the parking lot, no dynamite factory next door. Looks about right. You can double check things like the siding and roof shape, just there for your convenience. And so then we'll start to ask some questions just about the basic needs of coverage. Do you wish to insure any buildings? If so, we'll ask if there are any businesses or residential units. And I'll click yes on this one. We are not a great fit for mixed exposures. We're going to tell you that within 5 seconds of you starting this quote so that you're not going to be spinning your wheels with us when it's not something that we'll be able to take a good shot at. But then we'll go back and click no. And then just some follow-up questions. Do you operate out of any condo units? If yes, we'll just make sure that we're adding the improvements and betterments coverage instead of building limits. And then I won't make everyone on this call watch me type in all of the questions over and over. And you know what? Let's pick up this sample grocery store quote we've been working on.
I just didn't have faith in you, apparently, man. You were coming around to it anyway.
So quoting with MGT is 4 easy steps. In step 1, we'll enter in some basic information about this business. Just their class of business and their address we'll pre-fill from that last page we did. Then we'll enter their name, phone number, gross sales. For most classes of business, we write up to 3 million in gross sales. For offices, which could be medical or professional offices, we'll write up to 5 million gross sales. Some information about the business owner, And then you can also add any additional locations in this page as well. We support up to a total of 4 locations. So then we'll click continue. And in the second page here, this is where we can set the effective date. We can also enter the year the organization was established. And if I don't say that we do write new ventures, the microchip in my neck will shock me. So MGT is a market for new ventures. We will enter the number of employees. We can write anywhere up to 100 employees. We'll enter some information about their insurance history. All pretty straightforward information here. And we also will check the expiration date to make sure that we can take a good shot on it. So clicking continue here, we'll go into step 2. And in step 2, we'll start to define the scale and the scope of the organization's operations. So we'll have some eligibility questions. This list does populate based on the class of business. So some classes, like the accountant's offices I love to demo, those have 4 whole eligibility questions. Supermarkets and grocery stores can be a little bit more complex, so we have a few more questions. But even with this list, you can see here, it's nothing particularly complicated or super complex, no confusing double negative language. So just a couple minutes to get through this section, and then we'll click continue again. And now we're all done with the eligibility section. In step 3, this is where we'll enter in some building information. And since you all are taking the time to attend this demo, I will share with you a huge time-saving tip. I see pretty much every day someone will start a quote and they'll say in that first page, yes, we need building limits. By the time we make it here to page 3, turns out it's actually a rental unit. We don't need building limits after all. If you put in a $1 value, that'll refer because that's tremendously undervalued. So all you have to do is click in this top drop-down box, select business personal property contents only. That will remove the building limits, and then you can proceed with the quote from there. So once we get into the information here, again, this is all pretty straightforward stuff. It's probably less than a lot of carriers are asking. Basically, how big is it? What's it made out of? When was it built? Few details about the construction. You can add any mortgagees here. We do have an estimated replacement cost. So this is just provided for your convenience. You can see here I went a little bit higher just to give us some wiggle room in case our estimate's a little on the low side. We want to make sure we've got that co-insurance. And then we can add any BPP limits. You can add additional buildings if you have multiple buildings that share an address. If there are multiple addresses, we would add those as new locations in that first page we looked at.
Hey, Dan, a couple questions.
Sure.
So this was on a previous screen that you had up, but just quickly caught it as you were going through. Do we offer special events coverage?
Oh, who asked that question? I'm going to send you a gift card. Yes, we do actually offer special events coverage, which we can include on the BOP. And wait, there's more. If your insured is serving alcohol at some of their special events, we can include host liquor liability as well.
Awesome. Thank you for covering that. And then the other one, just really quick, I think you may have touched on this, but I'm not 100%. Do we have a TIV for all of these buildings since we can do multiple locations in building?
Excellent question. Excellent question. I love this crowd today. So we have got a capacity for $2 million total insured value, and you can split that between up to 4 locations, building, BPP, allocate it however makes most sense for the insured. You've got $2 million in capacity that you can move around between all the different needs. So great question there. So just back to the demo. After we answer all the property questions, we can add any additional insureds. I would imagine anyone on this call has done that probably at least 1,000 times, so we don't have to spend too much time on that. And then in step 4, we can add any optional coverages. So I am definitely guilty of this. A lot of times I will say we write just the BOP, but we do so much more than just the BOP. We've got employee benefits liability, employment practices liability. You can see here for this grocery store, we've got spoilage coverage added. For some classes like barbers and nail salons and photographers, we've got professional liability. For most other classes we've got hired non-owned auto. So you'll also see a list of optional coverages that's relevant to that risk. So once we select an optional coverage, and actually before I go into the next page, another of my favorite features of our platform, it's very, very user-friendly. I talk to agents every day who have someone on their team who's maybe never done commercial before, and they're just kind of dipping their toes in the water. Or a lot of agents have been personal lines focused, sometimes for decades. And just because that market's getting harder, they're expanding into more commercial, but they're still kind of learning the ropes a little bit. If that is the case for you, all you have to do to get some more information about what, say, spoilage coverage is, hover your mouse over this little question mark icon. That'll provide some additional context so you can feel confident as you go through this quoting process with us. And so once we add any optional coverages, there'll just be a few underwriting questions to confirm those are available. And so we'll answer all those questions and then we'll click continue. And now at this point, we're done. We have answered all the questions that we need to answer. We've added all the optional coverages. So we can click see your quote. And when this little circle starts to spin in the middle of the screen, that's where the magic happens. Behind the scenes, a lot of tech is coming into place. It's running checks, it's scoring, it's geolocating the risk, combing through their history. It's kind of crazy what the computers are really doing for us here. But you can see we returned a quote on this risk in seconds, which you might be waiting for an underwriter at a traditional carrier for days or even weeks to get back to you with. When we do return a quote, we are a direct bill carrier. We have payments available in quarterly installments or one annual payment. For quarterly installments, it tells you exactly what the down payment is. Each installment will be an equal amount. And then we have annual payments, which does come with a discount, and it will tell you exactly what that is as well. Then in the rest of this page, this is pretty straightforward. We can set our deductibles and sublimits. One thing I always like to highlight is we do have the ability to split out wind and hail. That might, in some areas, provide some premium relief. In some areas, we do have minimum wind hail deductibles. Our platform is set up to only show you bindable options, though. So wherever you're at, if you're not super familiar with our underwriting guidelines and exactly where we're drawing all the wind hail lines on the map, just feel confident that anything you see here will give you a bindable option back. You don't have to go dig through an underwriting manual to confirm you can stand behind the quote you get from us. So pretty straightforward stuff again. We can add any optional coverages if we want to really tailor this policy to the risks of the insured. We can opt out of TRIA coverage, waive our right of subrogation, all pretty standard stuff here. And so once everything's dialed in, we've got it just the way we like it, we'll click continue. And in this next page, you'll see all these options are grayed out. So if we do need to go back and make changes, we can always click previous, but this is what we would consider the current version of the quote, whatever you get on this page. You can print the quote out. That'll just take all this information, puts it into a nice, neat PDF you can send out as part of your proposal. And then once they're ready to move forward, just click confirm and purchase. And in this next page, we'll have the option to either send a payment link over to the prospect or to take payment now. We have found over the years that just not everybody likes to give their credit card information over the phone. And so that's why we developed the ability to send a payment link out. And really, we're covering some cyber liability in our BOP. So if anyone is hesitant to share payment details over the phone, I respect and appreciate that. Thank them for keeping our loss ratios down. And if they are in your office or on the phone, ready to go, just click purchase now. This is also what they'll see when they get that payment link. From here, it's very straightforward. Select annual or quarterly payments, e-check, credit, or debit. One thing I always like to highlight is no matter how they choose to pay, we do not charge any additional payment fees. Enter the billing zip. Auto pay is automatically turned on. If in the future they wanted to turn auto pay off for one reason or another, they could do that by going into the self-service page. So just to kind of bring that back around, enter their email address and confirm it, agree, we're allowed to purchase the policy. You can print the application here. That will just take all the questions we answered, puts that into a nice, neat PDF. I talked to a lot of agents who like to preserve that paper trail. You can certainly do that. We do retain all these documents as well. So if you forget to save one, you can always go pull it from the system too. But we do not require signatures to bind. So this is really just for your records. All you have to do to get this one over the finish line, fill out this page with the payment information and then click Submit Payment. As soon as that payment goes through, you'll get a little pop-up that says, "Thank you for binding this policy with MGT. We appreciate the opportunity to protect your business," all that great stuff. Then you'll have instant access to all those policy documents. We'll send out the receipt so everyone has a record this transaction went through. And then you move on to the next thing on your to-do list. We got that one in the bag.
Nice. Hey, there's something that you mentioned, Dan, that I kind of want to highlight for a second because I think it's really important. There's some folks on this call that I've either worked with in the past or I've worked with your organization in the past, and I'm really proud of my background working with MGAs. They've provided some really great stuff in the insurance space, particularly with the advancement of technology in it. But I'm so excited of what we're doing here at MGT because we are a full stack carrier. And when Dan talks about the fact that we're not pushing any fees on, I think that that's such an important point because instead of having an MGA in between the actual carrier and yourself down to the insured, you're just coming straight to us with it. That's why we don't need to give you additional fees. That's why we can add some flexibility into our quoting system, into the classes that we want to do. We get to make all those decisions because we are the full stack carrier here. So I'm so excited about what it is. We're all very excited about what we're building at MGT Insurance because we're really taking those learning lessons from where some of those MGAs in the market have paved the way, and we're bringing it to a solid, dependable, reliable, stable full stack carrier for y'all, for you and your insureds. So I think it's such an important point, even though it's so nuanced and small, especially having been a part of this growing and evolving industry. I think it's really cool what we're doing here. Yeah. Okay. So excellent job today, Dan. I should have given more thunder to the end of your thing. I love that you point that out. I think it's such a good thing to point out, especially for some of these partners that I know I've worked with before. So that said, y'all, we got a couple moments. If you have any additional questions that you want to type into the chat, shout out for us. We're happy to answer them. But otherwise, just reiterate what it is that we said earlier. We love working with our agents. That's why all three of us do what we do. We are here to support the independent agent. That's the channel that we sell through. And you are our primary customer. So anything that it is that we can do to provide you with materials to help support you as you go out and reach out to your communities to write some of these great MGT policies, do not hesitate. We love to hear from you. It's what we do all day. We talk to agents. But that's it for me. You guys got anything you want to add before we close?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, folks, as you saw the demo, your policyholders are also in control here at MGT. So once you bind that policy, they'll also get their own login, or they can get their declaration page and certificates of insurance. So they don't need to be always going to you. You can really give them the power to be in control of their policies. And again, if you need any assistance, the phone number and our emails in the chat, we're here to assist.
That's such an excellent point, Annalise. Thank you.
Absolutely. So there you have it. MGT is delivering to you the power to be in control of your business fully. You don't have to wait on anyone to look at your emails or pick up their phones. You don't have to worry about filling out convoluted applications, chasing down loss runs, giving the incumbent another chance to try and weasel their way back into that business that is your business. And so at the end of the day, what we want to do is make the things that should be easy actually really, really, really easy so that you can take care of them, keep your clients happy, protect your communities, but spend more time in your day doing what it is that you really love to do, what you wake up every day hoping you'll get to do a little bit more of, selling insurance.
And it's going to be mostly the same. But if you or anybody in your office wants to come back next week, we host these every week, and there's an even chance that some of us might be more sparkly next week with our attire. So it might be worth coming back to visit. Um, Thanks, Dan and Annalise. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you to our agents. We love working with you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.